Weekly mindset. We kicked off a series recently trying to adjust your mindset a little bit every week, right? And this week, I think it's really important to talk about business, but not just business, types of business. And I believe this is an important topic because, when people start businesses, many times their focus is just creating a long-term business that they're going to build up and essentially ride it out and either retire or pass it down to their children, their grandchildren, whatever the case may be. And that's the ultimate goal, right? Keep building it up, and not really having a necessarily an end goal, just kind of like maybe a somewhat hazy vision. And this is important because what a lot of people don't realize is creating a business is much like any other tool in your life, right? You can create businesses for multiple purposes. You can create a business to essentially build up to sell, right? Like that's the whole purpose of the business, or even purchase a business where the whole goal of it is to flip it, right? Like flipping cars, flipping houses, kind of the same thing, same concept. And you can deal with businesses the same way. You can, purchase businesses, you can finance businesses, very similar in a lot of ways to how you would potentially like a house. Um, you can create a business. I've seen people where they've actually built businesses to fund their passion, where they have a primary business they want to start, but they need capital to do so. And it is, tough maybe in whatever industry they're in to actually generate capital for that business. So what they'll do is they'll kind of simultaneously create these two businesses, focus on a primary cash flowing business, something easy. I've seen it done with stuff like apparel or other, retail e-commerce type stuff that is very easy to basically build up, low cost of investment for initial startup, and decent returns. And they take that business and they use that to actually fund another business, and they put an expiration date on the cash flow business, right? Of, well, let's say a few years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is. There is also, purposes for building businesses, for doing things like holding companies to hold assets. You can create a business to essentially, like traditional style, where you create a business for something that you're interested in doing or passionate about. You create said business and you have a long-term time horizon. Now, the key to that is potentially to actually have a plan initially and not just basically go and wing it, right? Because that's what a lot of business owners do. And they start something up and they end up winging it. And that can create a problem, right? Other types of business, you see businesses, you can use holding companies for this, or you can use specific companies designed for investing into assets, whether those are commodities, stocks, bonds, crypto, real estate, whatever it is. You can create a business to specifically invest in whatever asset you're chasing. And, having a business structure can help out a lot for tax purposes, protection, that sort of thing. The reason I bring this up, though, is to ask you, where are you going with your business? What is the plan for your business? Are you actually passionate about your business? Is it something that you want to do forever? Is it something that you just started because you were good at making money doing this thing? Is it something that you started because you love it? Is it something that you started because somebody told you to? Like, what was the purpose for starting your business, right? Because these things can dictate our long-term goal and vision. And without having an idea of where that long-term goal and vision is, a lot of times we're just kind of wandering and going with whichever way the wind blows us. This can be a real problem, especially, when you're talking about what is your future? What does that look like? What things you want, who do you want in your future, that sort of thing. And when you're planning your overall life, you have to plan your business around it. And having a plan for what that structure, what that ecosystem looks like overall will save you not only a ton of time, money, headache, heartache, all of it, but it's going to allow you to stay focused and give you a consistent path to follow, right? So if you haven't done this yet, I would really encourage you to actually take some time, figure out why you are in the business that you are in, what the purpose of this business is, and what your end goal is. Because every type of business is going to have a drastically different way that you're going to go about it, a drastically different way that you're going to attack it. And you can't operate in the same manner across whatever businesses depending on what your goal is, right? If your plan is to build up a business that has a expiration date and its whole purpose is to fund your passion or to fund investments or to fund another business, right? That business is going to operate, and the way you operate that business is going to be very different than a business that you try to build up and start, that you have a passion for, that long term you would like to basically retire from this business or be able to pass it down. Those are very, very different things. And the choices you make inside of those businesses will look very, very different. So if you don't know what the purpose of your business is, or if you don't have a good plan, it's probably time to start thinking about that. Or if you maybe haven't even started your business yet, it's just an idea. Maybe think about what you want that to look like before you start the business. You can use this to your advantage, or you can use it to waste a ton of your time, depending on how you choose to handle it, right? But the key is to actually identify what types of businesses you're looking to create, what types of businesses you're looking to invest in, what types of businesses you're looking to purchase, and what your goal for those businesses are. So that way you can draw a roadmap to where you're trying to go, right? See, when people think about business, a lot of times they're very closed-minded, very one-track mind, right? But you can potentially start a business that you're passionate about, also invest in other businesses that are cash flowing, or create another business, whatever it may be, to fund that business. Or you can, maybe you like your day job and you love doing what you do, but you also want to secure your future a little better, and maybe your day job doesn't provide the income to do that. You can actually create a business or a side hustle that its sole purpose is to actually fund other investments, other commodities, or appreciating assets, right? Long-term investments, real estate, whatever it is. And these are things that most people don't think about when they're starting a business, right? Or when they're going into business, and you've probably never been taught this before. You probably didn't even know, in a lot of cases, that there are different types, and you can actually do different things with business, and you can buy and sell and trade businesses, and buy equity or sell equity or trade equity or whatever have you, much like you can with other commodities, houses, real estate, all that sort of stuff. So put some thought into what your actual plan is, write it down, get an idea of where you want to go and how you want that to look, and even potentially put a rough idea of how long you want that to go for, and then start executing and making decisions based on what that overall plan looks like. You will be surprised how much more efficient you are, and how much better off you are, and how quickly you can move towards that goal when you have some vision and you have an idea of where you're going. Give it a try today. Spend the time, write it down, write down where you want it to go, and start working towards that over this next week.